What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Zamir from XCC Tunes. In this video, I'm going to talk about my favorite features of Cubase 15's latest update. Alright, so there are a lot of awesome features that was introduced in Cubase 15. However, the latest version of Cubase 15, which is 15.0.2, is even better. Alright, so obviously one of the things that I've always mentioned before this, if you ever watched my videos before, you would know that I always wanted a folder track with a group channel, right? So now it's available. So let's say if I go ahead and add a folder track, I'm gonna go find a folder. There you go. This is a folder track. If I want to have this folder track also functions as a group track, all I have to do is just right click on it and go to enable group channel. Right, that way you can see that currently this folder track have a fader, and you can see there's panning and inserts, routing, and all those cool stuff that we usually get in a group channel. And let's say if I want to add an audio track, so let's add an audio track, and if I were to move this audio track into this folder, okay, this audio track is already inside this folder, so I'm going to close this folder and I'm going to add an audio track. Okay, now this audio track is outside of this folder, which means the audio is now going to stereo out, right? So if that's what I want, and I can just continue working on this. If I want this audio track to be routed to a group channel, let's say for this instance this is a maybe a vocal. All right, this is a vocal buzz. I want to drag this audio track inside this folder. Now you can see that audio 2 is already routed to the vocals buzz or folder, right? Okay, that's really useful because this saves a lot of time, man, to be honest. If let's say I don't want this folder to have any group channel, all you have to do is right click again, go and disable group channel. Okay, now this folder does not have any group channel assigned to this folder, right? So let's say I'm gonna add another audio track right now. It's already inside this folder, and all this audio now is going to stereo out because we don't have any group channel assigned to this folder. Now I want to enable this again, enable group channel. The moment I enable this channel, this audio track now goes back to assigned automatically. All right, that is really cool because I don't have to go and assign them individually, right? Okay, that's cool. Another cool thing is that I can go here and change the color. Maybe I want to have pink to all of these tracks, and now all these tracks is assigned to the same color, which is cool. Now let's say if I want to add another audio track. Okay, I'm going to close this folder now. I'm going to add another audio track. Oh, it's a MIDI track. Now we'll remove that audio track. Okay, now I want to open this folder again. If I move this audio track to this folder, watch what happens. It's already routed to vocals. That's fantastic. And the color also changed. That's what I like. I don't like it when it's not the same color. And the moment I disable the group channel, it goes back to the normal folder, right? That is fantastic. Let's say I want to just use this folder as a folder track, not the group channel. And if I were to add another audio track right here, right? I am moving this audio track to this folder. Okay. Even though the group channel is not added, the color scheme still follows, so it's good, right? Sometimes I want to have a folder track without any group track in it, so in this case it automatically assigns the color, and that saves a lot of my time, right? So that's really cool. I really love this new feature of Cubase, right? And thank you for listening to our complaints. Now I'm a happy Cubase user. All right. Okay, so that's the first feature that I like. I'm going to go to the second feature that I like, and that is the WaveLab GO. Alright, so WaveLab GO was already introduced, if I'm not wrong, in 2024 in Pro Tools, right? So all the paid version of Pro Tools comes with this WaveLab GO, and I always wondered why we don't have this, you know? And thank you, Cubase again. Now we have this WaveLab GO, and I'm going to just go ahead and add an audio track. Okay, I have this audio track. There's some classical music. Now if I want to add the WaveLab GO, all I have to do is go to extension here, click on it, go to WaveLab. It's going to show up in the lower zone like so. Okay, this is really cool. Okay, currently you are looking at left and right stereo track. All right, you can also view this on mid and side. Okay, now I can see the mid. This is the mid, and the one below is the side. All right. Another cool thing is now when I go to this slide and if I click on it, so when I move this to the right, you can see that the waveform is now getting thicker. You can actually see the loudness here, right? So that is actually the loudness. And if you want to view both the stereo and mid and side together, you can click on this 3 button here. Now this is the stereo and this is the mid and side, so you can view both of them together. Let me just make it bigger a little bit. Right, so this is basically the stereo and this is the mid and side view, and then the rainbow view. The rainbow view is really cool. You can actually see a couple of colors here that actually can help you understand whether this particular track have more bass or more sibilance or more high frequency and so on. You can actually use this to analyze your track. I'm not going to explain about WaveLab GO in this video, but I just want to say that this new addition to Cubase 15 is amazing and I can see myself using this a lot. Right, on top of that, this also comes on a standalone app. So when I go here, WaveLab 13, I'm going to click on it. The cool thing about this is you can launch both the standalone WaveLab 13 with the one in Cubase, right? So for instance, so this is the WaveLab GO within Cubase. I can still have it open, and at the same time I can also open the standalone. So when you open the standalone, you're gonna see you have this input, the one that I'm talking right now, microphone 1, the input 1 and 2 basically, and then I have, it shows my SSL interface and then the headphone and so on. Right, so you can go ahead and create a new empty window like so. So basically now you have a better view. In case if you want to do an editing on a bigger view, you can do so, or you can go back to Cubase and click on this button to have it undock this, and you can maybe put it on a separate window and enlarge them as well like so. And so now you can actually view them in a bigger screen. All right, so yeah, I will make another video about this. This is really cool. So that's WaveLab GO. I'm gonna close this right now. Okay, now I'm gonna go to the sampler track. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and find some instrument here. So maybe synth. I use this. Okay, I want to use this sample right now, and I want to actually use a pattern event. I'm gonna double click on this part here, and let me mute this one. So let me have 2 bars. Okay, I'm gonna double click on this and it's gonna open this. I'm gonna choose melodic because I want to mess around with this note. Yeah. Okay, let me turn on the metronome. Okay, so the new addition is this one here, step selection. I never actually care about this before, but now when I start using it, I realized that this is really important. Right, so now I'm on this cursor, all right, selection, step selection mode, and if I go and click here, double click here, I can add a new note. All right, and if I don't like it, I can actually click on it and then maybe drag it to a different note. In the previous version, I have to actually remove this and go and click a different note like so. That is not bad. Actually, it's not really that bad. But having this option for me to drag to the next node, this really speeds up my workflow. Okay, another cool thing I can do is I can select all of them and drag it to the next node, right, like so. Let me just go and choose a scale. Actual mine, okay. Okay, and I can go ahead and choose a poly now. I'm gonna have a note. I'm gonna play a poly note. Oh, that sucks. Okay, bass note is not ideal for poly notes. It's not the best way to use it. I didn't know that I needed this, but now I really like it. Okay, all right, so let's move on to the fourth features that I like, and that is the video export. All right, so I'm gonna go to video now. As a film composer, I never use video export in Cubase. What I usually do is, once I've done all my projects, the whole score for the film, I will render it out as one audio file, right? One whole track, like long, super long track, and then I will put it in my another free video editing software that's called DaVinci Resolve. So I will align those videos and the music together, and then I'll export from there, because when I export the audio in Cubase, it gets really big, right? 2, 3, 4 gig of video file. So that's not really very optimum for my space in my computer. So I like to do it in DaVinci Resolve. So with the new update, I can go ahead and change the resolution if I want. I can actually also choose small file size. So if you look at here on the right side, you can see that it's actually showing which format is this video file is going to be. So format MP4, codec, resolution, bitrate, frame rate, codec. This is basically for audio, sample rate 48. This is actually following my project file settings, and then I can also see the file, the estimated, and then disk space required. Okay, so let me just make them a bigger. Let's go export video. Okay, now you can see that the file size is 457. So based on my selected region, it's showing me the estimated size of the video that I'll be exporting. Okay, so now let's go ahead and choose the balanced or high quality. You see this 1.4 gig editing. I don't know what that is. 1.6 gig. Oh, that's too much, man. I can just render this now in small file size, which is only about 500 megabytes, and that's just quite good. All right, so this is a welcome feature again from Cubase. Thank you so much, Cubase. I've gotten all the thing that I wanted from Cubase, from Nuendo, basically from Nuendo to Cubase, except one thing, and that is the headphone match. Greg or any Steinberg's developers, if you guys are watching this, please also include the headphones match. I think that's the name of the plugin. I forgot the name, but it's actually the one that I mentioned in my previous video, where you can actually go to that plugin and choose the headphones that you're using, and then it will kind of tune the headphone based on the frequency and show and give us a flat response headphones. Right, so I hope that's gonna be available soon, maybe in Cubase 15.03. Yes. So that's it for today. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, smash the like button, and share this video to everybody you know. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.